What's up, guys? This is Merc Music, and welcome to my review of Call of Duty World War II.
It's me, yeah, face me. What?
I'm gonna beat myself. Now, first and foremost, I'd just like to point out that this is just my initial review. The game hasn't even been out for a week yet, but I really just want this video to be a reflection of what the first week of this game has been like. So as far as it goes with my experience with this game so far, I have only played the first campaign mission so far. I have a couple hours in zombies, but when it comes to multiplayer, I've already prestiged. I'm already on my way to the second prestige. I think I have roughly 12 to 13 hours played so far, so that's where the bulk of my time has been spent. And if you're new here or you just don't know my background with Call of Duty, I started playing Call of Duty with Call of Duty 4 in 2007. I've been playing the franchise for 10 years. I've gone back and played every single Call of Duty game that's been made, so I think I have a decent grasp on the Call of Duty series. But yeah, let's get started and talk about the campaign. The first thing I noticed about the campaign, and I'm sure you'll notice this as well, is just how lifelike it is. The graphical leap from Call of Duty Ghost to Advanced Warfare was actually pretty good, but because it was set in the future and it had like a fictitious setting, it kind of makes it hard to appreciate the art style, if that makes any sense. But when you have a game like COD World War II that has a realistic setting, the graphic fidelity and the art style really shines through. And it's honestly kind of scarily photorealistic like Call of Duty 4 was back in 2007. The other thing that's really cool about the campaign is that it has a lot of elements of classic Call of Duty. If you've been playing this franchise since 2003 or 2004, then you're probably accustomed to not having health regen in campaign. Call of Duty 2 innovated this in 2005 by having a health regen system, but now in this game, we don't have it. But I will say that it's not as cumbersome as the older Call of Duty games. You don't have to hunt or scavenge the entire map trying to look for a health pack. You just have squad mates that can resupply you with ammo or give you health. The COD World War II campaign also draws some similarities to Call of Duty 2's campaign in terms of the level design and the enemy AI, which I think will be pretty nostalgic for some players. Oh shit, shit. Ooh. See, now that is like COD 2 right there. And even just judging from the first campaign mission, this game offers character and personality and refinements like World at War did back then.
Oh, briefing's at 1800, we're gonna be late.
Dude, this opening scene has more character and personality than Advanced Warfare. Wow. But even though it has all of these elements, the game also has its own identity. It can be extremely gruesome, but also emotional at times. And again, I'm only one mission deep, but I'm really curious to see where it goes from here. Now, is this campaign harder challenging like COD 2 on Veteran was back then? Again, this is just my initial review. I'm playing the campaign on Recruit purely for the story for Nerd Plays because I'm going to play through the whole thing. But on my own time, I'm going to go back through and play all of the missions on Veteran, so I'll let you guys know at some point. The one thing I'm not big on in the campaign is the QuickTime events. Sure, they're kind of unique and not as annoying as some games, but it still really just doesn't add to the gameplay or the story. It just kind of forces you to not fall asleep during the cutscenes, which, if that's what they're going for, that's cool. I'm just never personally going to be a huge fan of QuickTime events. There's only one thing I have to say about zombies in Call of Duty World War II. This one rocket launcher is the single greatest thing I've seen in Call of Duty Zombies. The power fantasy that this thing gives you is just ridiculous. It's really just a rocket launcher with multiple rounds, but it is so stupidly strong and fun to use. And obviously, if you can upgrade it, that will make it even more stupidly fun to use. Play zombies, get this weapon, profit. But yeah, that's pretty much it for zombies. I haven't really played it a lot. You guys know. I'm mostly covering multiplayer stuff, which we'll get into right now.
Ensure this is the only time we taste defeat.
I'm gonna kind of start with the bad stuff, move on to some stuff that's okay, and end it with some good things and also some requests.
The bad stuff.
Some people might say that Call of Duty World War II's launch is... Oh my god, that is so good!
Oh my god, I can't do
Okay,
it.
don't do it. You're gonna hurt yourself. I think we can all agree with this. The game has had some issues at launch, and it's not to be taken lightly. The login servers for the game have been on and off. You get this stupid alphabet error. The load times after matches have been so slow that sometimes you're just loaded into the next game and you can't even change anything. And I also heard about a rank reset glitch, but thankfully that never happened to me. I'm sorry if it happened to any of you guys watching, but apparently it's been addressed already, which is good. Now, I would say that all of these problems should be expected because of the sheer amount of players trying to get on and play this game, but at the same time, it should have been predicted. There should have been more stuff preemptively done to prevent this from ever happening. But at the same time, I don't think this is as bad as people are making it out to be. Clearly, some of these people weren't around for Battlefield 4 or GTA 5's online launch. Those games initially had much worse launches. This is nothing compared to that. But again, I'm not trying to make light of it. These are things that need to be taken care of as soon as possible, so that way it can ensure a good experience. Now, this one might be a little bit more subjective, and it's just something that I noticed, but it seems like playing on a 2-bar or a worse connection can sometimes just feel unplayable. Sometimes it just feels like you die faster and you need more bullets to kill enemies, and when that happens, there's just no point of staying in the lobby. Connection seems to be very important in this game, so if you have bad internet or a bad NAT type, you need to try to address it. Otherwise, you could honestly have a very skewed view of the multiplayer.
The okay stuff.
This game needs ground war. It needs 9v9. Okay, so I'm in a private match with bots, and there's 17 bots with very interesting names. But there's no ground war online, like... I hope that they do consider adding ground war in, though. I do not want it to become a weekend game mode like it is in Black Ops 3. That's just stupid. You can currently go into a private match and load in with 18 people or 17 bots. It's possible. We just don't have it online. Why do we not have ground war? On top of that, I think it would be nice to have even bigger player counts. I've said this before, playing 12v12 or more on PC has been an absolute blast in the past, and I'd like to see Call of Duty go more in this direction because it would just be so much more chaotic and fun. But that's a little bit more subjective. That's just my opinion. And this next one kind of will be as well. The STG-44. Is it overpowered or overused? Now, I personally think that it's overused, and I really don't know exactly how to feel about it quite yet. All I've noticed is that in my matches, it's pretty much dominating the kill feed, and players are generally not taking any interest in using other weapons, which is a shame. The same thing pretty much goes for the FG-42, the PPSH, and the Type 100, but not quite to the same degree. The STG is a mindless rifle to use. It's just stupidly easy. I pretty much equate it to the ACR of Modern Warfare 2. It's for people who don't even try to challenge themselves whatsoever. With that being said, I think it's still too early to ask for a nerf, but I just want to see some weapon variety. I don't want this to be a long-term problem like the Bal and ASM-1 in Advanced Warfare. However, I would like to ask for some buffs to two weapons. Pretty much just both of the double barrel shotguns. They are so underwhelming and boring and terrible to use. They're straight trash. Utter garbage.
On the right side. Well, I'm just going
2 point-blank range hit markers with a double barrel? Oh boy, flashing that one back. I'd have an easier time trying to kill someone by poking them to death with a blade of grass. Please, increase the damage, increase the reload speed, just do something to make these guns actually usable. Oh my. Next up is supply drops. In their current state, I actually think they're okay. Again, in its current state, they can only be earned for free. There's more challenges than ever to be able to earn them as well, and they currently are cosmetic only. But I think it's foolish to assume that it will stay that way. In terms of game-changing items from the supply drops, I just really hope they don't go the route of variants like Advanced Warfare and Infinite Warfare. If anything, if it's like MWR, it shouldn't be too big of a problem. But again, with all this being said, I just actually like the layout of the current system. It's a good balance. If by some miracle it happens to stay the same way it is now, I think that would be really good for the game, but we'll just have to wait and see. And as far as it goes for objectively analyzing the multiplayer, there's only two things I think it's missing that would actually almost make it a perfect Call of Duty game on paper. I'm still gonna push for field of view slider on console. The competing EA games like Battlefield 1 and Titanfall 2 both have them on console, and I think it's time to catch up. And this next one's probably unrealistic, but if this game had theater mode, it would be perfect. Theater mode is great for making YouTube content. If you forget to record a clip or an entire gameplay, you can go back and get it. You can record all kinds of different angles for different videos or montages and cinematics. The production value of YouTube videos increases with the addition of theater mode, and it just kind of sucks that we don't have it. And I feel that it really needs to just become a staple for Call of Duty. It needs to be in every game that we get from now on. But now let's move on to the great stuff. I really like that Sledgehammer Games is listening to feedback and making changes accordingly. Pretty much the entire community asked for a slower kill feed, and that was addressed and taken care of. And I specifically asked for more XP for playing the objective in war, and they did make changes like that. Specifically on Operation Breakout, if you're attacking and trying to build the bridge, you now get XP, whereas in the beta at earlier stages, you didn't get any XP for doing so. In general, across all modes, I think that players who really just die a lot for the objective and try to play the objective as much as possible should be rewarded, and XP is a great way of doing so. And obviously, I gotta talk about Headquarters because it's just amazing for replay value. The first thing that really caught my attention was just how fast it loads. I did not expect it to actually load this fast. If you compare it to the tower in Destiny, you actually have to travel to the tower, whereas this just loads pretty much instantaneously. And the HQ has so many different things to offer, like challenges, you can 1v1 your friends. Whoa, I can't see anything at all now! Oh, God. Oh, it does hurt you. Holy... Close game, good game, good game. There's score streak training, and there's also some secret Easter eggs as well, which you should try to find. Now, the caveat to that is that I think the HQ is also kind of causing some of the bugs and the slowness and the server problems that we've seen over this weekend, but it just adds so much content, and it's a completely different dimension to Call of Duty that we've never seen before, and I think it's worth it. Another thing I wanted to point out is the maps. I really like that they went for quality over quantity this time. We only have 9 standard multiplayer maps, but I actually prefer less maps if it means that I'm actually looking forward to playing them every single time because they flow well and have good spawns. They're not perfect, and there's even some really bizarre ones like Gustav. Who made this map, man? Like, what is this? Hey guys, let's just put a giant fucking cannon in the middle of an open map. That's the map, bye! Yeah, there's still some strange stuff. It's interesting to say the least. But don't forget that there's also 3 exclusive maps that were custom designs to fit the war game mode, which takes a lot of time. So really there's 12 maps, it's just that 3 are played in war and 9 are played in everything else. But I'm also hoping for some fun new game modes like we got during the weekend Warfare from Modern Warfare Remastered. Having something to look forward to on a weekly basis for this game is going to be really good for replay value. I hope they also considered maybe doing some free DLC maps and new events. This game's gonna have a lot of old players returning to Call of Duty, but the hype is also going to have a lot of new players coming in as well. And I think they really need to capitalize on that by keeping the game fresh and fun with new content on a regular basis. But yeah, guys, that's my initial review of Call of Duty World War II. I'd say it's generally positive and it's great when it's actually working. And hopefully this game and future Call of Duty games continue to listen to our feedback and make some really good improvements and innovations in the future. But again, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my initial review of Call of Duty World War II. If you guys did and you'd like to see some more COD World War II videos, make sure to drop a like, and I'll see you guys later.